No.
You ready, BJ?
Yep.
What happened last time? Who remembers?
Fat observation.
We fought the brain
so
thingy.
we yeeted a dragon in town. That bitch fell somewhere in the city. His name was Charbrax or whatever the fuck, because weird ass names. We also fucked with Mother Brain. We were told not to fuck with that or whatever. There's like some secret that the town's holding, and that's all I remember, honestly.
That's pretty good. So yeah, previously on Pathfinder Adventures, episode 27, last week. You guys did the finale of Bibliotech Suprem. In their last couple rooms, you found a green dragon who was really pissed off. He was trying to figure out what happened to all the gnomes, and then he spotted Gamby, and that was enough for him to kind of go berserk. At low life, he tried to get away, but Apotham shot him with a fireball as he flew away and managed to finish him off. And a bunch of lucky dice roll, you'll probably see the consequences of that. After that, you kind of got, there's a hole in the wall, and you found this big brain monster, and like there was a portal with a bunch of creatures coming out of it, and like kind of taking chunks of the brain. And all this was pretty surprising to you. The Order of the Tome guy seemed like he knew about this, and he was trying to kind of keep it from you guys, but the fight kind of happened, and Chez ran up with his cool pickaxe and closed the portal. And you guys cleaned it up pretty easily. On your way out of La Bibliotech, you discovered that there had been some losses throughout the library. Like the brain was kind of damaged in the battle. The mice no longer exist, and your boy Rufus were dead on the floor as you left. And then also Barnabas Jackson, your boy, also was found dead at the front desk.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And yeah, when we last left, you guys had learned that Gamby was the last gnome, and that Apotham was the last as Lanty. And you guys were like walking out of the front door of the Bibliotech to get back to town. And so that's where we'll pick up at the World Shield world map. You guys are here. And you got Kia with you, remember, aka Moon Bitch. She's coming with you guys, and you guys are walking back into like the center square of town, and it's like a fucking disaster place. Looking around, it's clear what happened to that dragon corpse, and what happened to it is that it landed on the Toast and Tea Inn and pretty much leveled the place. The dragon's big green muscular corpse lays in the middle of the building across the alley, like the town square here. And you see a lot of shit going on. There's a bunch of guards kind of running to and fro. There's a sticky green substance that seems to have like kind of splattered across the whole town square. And there also seem to be a bunch of injured people that have been kind of laid out here in front of Wilford's General Store. And there's a few healers that are kind of casting spells on the people who are laying there. Half the people laying there are kind of just laying motionless, but the other half are like screaming in agony. Across the square, you spot a bunch of guards kind of running back to and fro, kind of protecting the area. And you also notice Arnis in the distance, pointing to different soldiers and saying things, shouting commands, and like having control of the situation.
Oops.
No, you don't say oops. You go, oh my god, what happened? This is so crazy.
Can I identify the sticky green substance, or is that just dragon blood? Or
yeah, sure. You want to try to like walk over there and check it out, or just from this
cautiously?
distance?
I cautiously approach it.
Okay. As you guys are kind of walking a bit more through the square, Kia sees all this shit going on, and she's just like, she seems upset. She can't really she says that she can't deal with this right now, and that she needs to just rest. And she moves up kind of northeast and disappears into a place. that you know of is the scholars' dorms, where presumably she's like staying. She looked pretty upset.
Is she retarded? Isn't she a healer? Could she not have helped them?
She's not really into it. But yeah, so Brian, you come over, actually, you come over and you take a look. There's a bunch of guards here though, and they're kind of standing, and they see you coming, and certainly like they put their spears out and they're like, halt, we got to protect the citizens, you got to stay back for your own safety.
I just want to try and get a grip of the situation. I'd like to help in any way I can.
It says,
I'm pretty good with nature and animals and the like. And I want to take a look at this odd substance. Have you guys discovered anything?
Yes, yeah, we know what it is. It came from the dragon when it landed. It's some kind of acid.
Is it having any kind of visual reaction on the material? What is this in the center of town? Like a well?
Yeah, this is like a well, like made out of stone, and you can see where a lot of this green stuff has landed. It's definitely been kind of burning a little bit, making some smoke, and has been digging into the stone of the well. And likewise, taking a look around, you can spot a few other holes that are actually in the buildings that seem to have happened from like splatters, and you can still see it kind of hissing. It's having some kind of chemical reaction.
Basically, we just acid bombed this town.
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, do you say that out loud?
Hell no, I don't say that out loud. I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
Yeah.
Do I know a way to like counteract the dragon's ass?
Make a nature check or history, I guess, if you got it. Maybe there's a lot more buttons in this, aren't there?
Yeah.
Nature is pretty good though. You certainly know that each type of dragon has a certain element associated with it, and the one that you fought was a green dragon, which you guys even got shot by its breath earlier. Its breath is acid. Certainly, chemically, there are ways to neutralize acids, but you know that dragon's acid is particularly magical and very strong. So you'd need a very equally strong magical base to kind of clean this mess up.
What about a spellcraft check?
What are
Would
you trying to...
would that like help me understand what type of like elemental spell I would need in order to counteract this? This acid?
It wouldn't necessarily be elemental, right? We're talking more alchemical here. So certainly you could piece together that you could like wash it away if you had enough water, and if you had some place for the water to go, you could kind of dilute it down enough that it wouldn't be so dangerous. But other than that, it's kind of up to you to figure out how to clean the acid, not your character.
I shout to Arnis, bring me all the baking soda you have in town.
Arnis is like, baking soda, what's that?
Damn backwoods morons.
I mean, even if they did have quote-unquote baking soda, it would probably be in the place where you would want to eat. That is where the dragon landed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much. Certainly, like, I don't know. Baking soda exists, but I figure everybody uses yeast, right? Baking soda is actually like a rock from the ground that gets smashed up and then baked to a really high temperature in real life. So they might not really like know what that is. But even if they did have like the baking soda you and I know, I don't think a restaurant would have anywhere near enough to clean up the amount of acid.
By no means.
They would have like maybe a sack of it, but not like, not like 100 sacks.
That makes me wonder when baking soda was discovered.
It's a good question. My D&D games always get caught up in this shit. It's like, do we have internal plumbing? I always spend a whole session thinking about how our mansion is like internally plumbed or not.
So apparently, baking soda wasn't discovered until 1791, which was
Yeah.
also known as soda ash. And then in the late 18th century, sodium bicarbonate was discovered. So really, that's an invention within the past 200 years, which is pretty recent if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand chemistry and stuff really for it to. But yeah, so no, doesn't exist. I never heard of that. They're like, "What are you, a wizard from the future?"
Future's last past.
I suppose theoretically you could consider up to technology up to the 1400s to be valid here, because that's like ancient castles and shit.
Does that mean we
Yeah,
need to
something like that.
sacrifice somebody to make the acid go away?
What?
I know what will fix this.
I mean,
More blood.
That's like 14th century technology right there. We clearly have upset the gods, and we need to sacrifice somebody.
What we need are some leeches.
Yeah.
No.
But Rukubar is gonna stroll down and do what he always does when he doesn't know what to do. He's gonna walk up to this little spot here in the south. He's gonna pull his trousers down and take a piss on it.
Oh my
The
god,
guards
this
kinda
might work.
watch you tentatively, and they're very like worried about you getting too close to it, but they kind of give you some space. And you kind of storm right past them, and you just unzip your pants and start peeing on it.
What's a
And
zipper?
certainly, the guard watching you the closest is very like confused about what you're doing. The whole time you pee on it, though, it's like hissing and sizzling. It seems to have some effect, at least, in that it kind of like dilutes the small puddle of acid down. But at this point, it's kind of like a hole in the ground that you're pissing in, you know, that it's carved in. And now you have like a small hole filled with piss and acid.
All right, so I pull up Trow and I just kind of like throw my great sword over my shoulder, satisfied, and just be like, "Well, I've done all I can do here."
To the north, you notice that there's a bunch of corpses and there's a bunch of healers leaning over them and kind of casting healing spells. You can tell even from this distance about their like hand signals. But you have noticed that every once in a while their healing spells seem to be kind of failing. The two healers seem pretty frustrated as they move around from patient to patient.
We can mosey on up there and see what we can do to help. We ain't gonna do much about this acid eating half the town. Less than half the town.
Not much we can do about this situation at all, really.
We could like nudge the cleric to the healer.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, so if that's cool, we'll walk up there. We'll start approaching them.
Okay.
Do you?
Chaz, I like to write. Please continue with the write.
Garland is kind of looking around and says, "Right, well, and he starts hunting for people that he can help. He starts finding people who are not so far gone that healing would not be wasted on them. And hope, and I'm gonna start making heal checks.
Yeah,
Find out if there are people.
give me a medicine check to kind of like take a look at these people and see what's up with these injured.
I just leveled that up.
Oh,
No, I don't think there is medicine in Pathfinder. I think it is
No?
heal. Yeah, I don't see it.
Fuck, dude.
There is heal though. I'm assuming
Yeah,
it's the
that's
same thing.
good.
I get a 14 to heal.
Damn. He's a healer or something. Okay, so yeah, you come up to these people. They're kind of laying there. Knowing what you're doing, you kind of like start investigating these. There's 5 different bodies laying here. You kind of inspect 2 of them, and they seem like they're dead already. You kind of look at another 2 of them, and they seem to be kind of in like a moderate position. Like one of them seems a lot worse than the other. The big thing that you notice, though, is that these injuries are gruesome, right? These injuries are certainly beyond just your capability of healing. A lot of these people are seemingly disfigured permanently, either missing hands or feet or even their faces. And in the middle most cot, you spot somebody you recognize. It's Joe Copperkettle, the blacksmith who you worked with earlier, who sets up her shop in the town square here. Her face is completely marred, and she's barely recognizable anymore. You know her as a really tough woman so far in your experiences with her and trading with her. She's played a real tough game, but here she is, like, screaming in pain and like barely recognizable.
Okay. Let me look at the spell description real quick. I've got a spell that might help a little bit, depending.
There's a bunch of townspeople around, and they're all standing on their stoops, and they're all watching, and the guards are keeping them back, and everybody's kind of not sure how to react with this. Next to you, one of the clerics is healing another patient that seems to be lifeless. Spell their hand kind of pops and misfires.
Okay.
And I guess the answer to your question was that these two. Oh yeah, I shouldn't use that bright green color to mark the ones that are healthy. That these two are like the healthiest, and it seems like Joe is one of them. She's just also like the most disfigured, but not the most like critically injured.
I haven't had a chance to prepare spells yet that I just got.
Yeah, you guys just finished the Bibliotech, so you probably are very low on resources.
I've got some casts of Cure Light Wounds, and I've still got most of my casts of Channel Positive Energy. So to try and ease the pain of these folks and maybe let them rest, I don't have access to Greater Restoration yet. That's a 7th level spell, and requires 5,000 gold of diamond dust. So okay.
You need that ratio.
No, and I also don't have. I don't have restoration prepared yet, although I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to channel positive energy.
Okay. Roll it. Roll that heal. And it hits all these people in the area, even the guards. The guards look over at you kind of like, what the fuck? Because they aren't used to feeling this, right?
Yep.
The
I'm
two...
going to do it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to do it twice.
Okay. Yeah, roll them. But the two clerics here look over at you kind of in awe, and they're like, yes, that's the ticket.
So the first one heals everybody for 17. The second one heals everybody for 16. So a total of 33 hit points restored. Hopefully, while such light healing will not certainly heal the disfigurement and havoc caused to these people's bodies, it will numb the pain a little bit and make sure that they survive.
Yeah, so sounds pretty good. I'm gonna say that your healing is super effective. The clerics here are really happy when this happens, and they seem to kind of stand back as you do this. Your healing flows into all these people, and rolling dice behind the scenes. Certainly, it heals all of them. These are all commoners who have very low hit points, mechanically speaking, but peoplely speaking, they're still pretty messed up. Cure wound, channeling energy doesn't regrow limbs or unmelt faces. But the four of them do appear to that they will survive.
Okay.
The fifth one lays lifeless, though.
All right. He turns to one of the clerics and says, "That's about all I can do for the time being. They'll make it, I think, but they'll need some emotional support, I'm sure, once they wake up." So, and he looks at Joe and then says, "I think a mask might help her."
Joe really likes that idea, actually. She's very, she's not screaming in pain anymore, but you can tell that she's still not having a good time. But when you say that, it definitely like cheers her up. She really likes that idea, and she kind of jokes with you about forging a mask.
I think it might help until at least I can certainly be back by once I've prepared a few spells and see what I can do about your scars.
I'd be very grateful. Thank you so much. And the clerics too, they turn to you and they're like, "Thank you so much. That's exactly what we needed. We don't know what's going on, but our healing spells seem to be failing every once in a while. And we don't have the ability to invoke our god to heal people yet, so we couldn't really help these people as good as we would like. So we're very grateful for what you just did."
Oh, thank me, thank Gorham. Obviously, this is not good war. Well, for this is not warfare. This is not what Gorham espouses. This is just hurt, and I certainly wouldn't want them to suffer. So, he has blessed me with the ability to heal these people, and I have done so. In that, in time, I will perhaps return to see what I can do further for them. But for the time being, this is what I've got. So, thank you, Joe. Stay safe and stay as healthy as you can. The rest of you, get your rest. And then he turns back to the group and says, "Right. Well, what's the next step, lads?"
Well,
I'm not feeling so hot. We need to find a place to rest.
looks like the tea and toast inn is toast.
I don't know. I usually don't like puns, but that one got me.
And I can't help but notice that it's the toast and tea because I made a joke about that last session about it probably landed on the toast and tea.
So yeah, complete transparency. When you killed the dragon that flew out of the bibliotech, I rolled a d8 to determine which direction it flew in. You know, like thinking about a square of gridding.
Mhm.
And it rolled 2, which is it rolled 1, which was like northwest directly. So then I said, okay, it looks like it's going towards the town, right? And I looked at the town and I rolled another d8 to determine where it was going to land in the town. And yeah, it rolled a 3, and that was the inn, and that's where it landed. So
Oh, I can't believe I called it. Oh.
I mean, is there anything we can do here? I'm asking the rest of the group. Is there anything we can do? We've already healed the rest of these people. Do these soldiers need anything? Can we figure out a way to clean up this ass? I'm guessing probably not. We're pretty wiped from our excursion inside La Bibliotech. But can
You
we
can't help
really?
anybody if you can't stand up. So I think we need to get some rest.
I just chuckle because where the hell do you think we're just gonna be able to lay down?
We got bedrolls, don't we?
No, there's a barracks.
In the middle of town while they're doing all this?
No, Zozo. I think we might, head outside the walls and rough it for an evening.
What about maybe just trying to bunk up within the barracks since we're here? Maybe we can negotiate our way into a warm bed.
You guys have been carousing out here in the town square for quite a while now. And Arnis has been across the way, kind of ordering around soldiers. He certainly noticed your presence, and he like approaches with like a soldier kind of following him in tow. But he sees you guys, and he kind of looks at each of you and explains about the big disaster that's happened here. Arnis is looking very strong and muscular, as he usually does when he's near the Bibliotech. He sees you guys and kind of you have some chit chat about the terrible situation, and then he kind of like gives you a serious look and says, "Can I speak to you in private? Just over here, please." And he kind of leads you off to a little alley. You guys want to go with him?
I follow.
I follow.
We'll just crunch you down. We'll say this is the alley over here. He looks at you all, and you all look pretty haggard, really, from your big battle inside. And he says, "Look, I understand what happened in there. I already got some reports from my men. From what I understand, you helped us out pretty greatly in there, just by being around. Barsinius kind of told me some, and so did his scout. But I didn't hear anything about this dragon. I mean, we saw this dragon fly towards the Bibliotech, and then it like broke into the roof, and that's when we sent in the men."
It kind of attacked us, and it tried to get away.
It was arguing with a scion.
It was arguing with a scion, and then it demanded that it be allowed to eat one of our own, which obviously wasn't going to happen.
Ah. Well, I mean, certainly we understand that you must defend yourselves. But I mean, killing a dragon, this was your doing, wasn't it? Like, you guys are, we're pretty sure the only guys in town that could probably slay such a dragon, right?
Well, the dragon was slew in the process of saving the Bibliotech and its information depository.
So what did the dragon want exactly?
It was concerned about what was going to happen to its food source, correct? And I look back at the rest of the team.
Yeah, it seemed to be kind of intent on trying to find gnomes to eat. And when it saw Gamby, it tried to eat her, and we couldn't have that, so... Or him. Whatever. I can't remember what gender you are, Amanda. I'm sorry, it confuses me. It's different every session.
Gamby is a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Father's like, "It's just so confusing. You're not a dude." But yeah, so Arnis is pretty. He seems to kind of accept this. You know, he kind of changes tone. He doesn't get so secretive and conspiratorial anymore, and he kind of says, like, well, "I understand. You have to protect your friends and also the Bibliotech, but I mean, next time, please try to make sure that you think about the consequences of your actions." I mean, I know that you were just trying to kill the dragon, but certainly it ended up killing a lot of townspeople here and causing a lot of damage otherwise.
I mean, it probably would have done that anyway.
Just want to clarify, it wasn't my fireball that sniped that dragon out of the sky.
Oh, no?
No, it wasn't.
I've heard the tales of your fireballs, so...
Yeah, they are mighty, but no, it wasn't me that time.
Wasn't me?
It wasn't me.
Does everybody in the group say it wasn't me?
It wasn't me.
I put my hands up. It wasn't me.
My head just kind of drops to the ground, and I just look, and I'm like, it's all my fault. Mike, please let me fix it.
I'm gonna knock him out.
Yeah, for real. Get yourself together, man.
Looking, pat him on the back of the head really hard.
You slayed a fucking dragon. Who gives a shit about these people?
Hi, Erukiba.
I mean, he's got a point.
I'm chaotic good. So yeah, even though I'm like an end justifies the means kind of guy, I still feel really bad. This is not what was supposed to happen. I didn't think he was flying in this direction when I shot him. I guess he must have tumbled due to a gust of wind.
Well, we appreciate your honesty. And I mean, you're not gonna be in any trouble for this because I mean, what you did in there helped us all out. So he says, actually, Barsinius mentioned, and he pulls out. He kind of like takes his backpack off and he opens it up, and he has a bunch of little baggies.
What?
Is that weed?
No, they're all like leather baggies, and he hands everybody one, and he's like, "This is for helping out in there." And it gives everybody 750 gold.
Sweet.
And he says,
Hell
one other thing.
yeah.
What you guys saw in there, you have to keep this secret for us, please. This is what our order is about. And I understand that you guys didn't like the brain being in there or whatever, but it's things have been this way for a very long time.
Things have been this way for a very long time, and so they should continue being this way. Is your
Of course.
your logic?
I'd
Some folks look upon great changes and surges in activity as an opportunity to reevaluate what it is they're doing. So, mayhaps just things have always been done this way. Is it sufficient reasoning to continue doing it this way?
Well, what would you have us go back to storing our knowledge in books? They don't last forever, you know.
No. But
Now with these two
could,
fireballers around. Sorry.
Rukubar, I appreciate your honesty at this point. I think perhaps we should be a little less forward about.
I mean,
that.
the man has a point. Books don't last forever, and when you've got two small people flinging fireballs everywhere, it kind of proves this point even more.
I suppose. Anyway, I'm not saying go in there and just destroy the brain or whatever it is. Just someone should occasionally go in there and talk to it, yeah?
Are
Say
you
hello.
friend?
Make a persuasion check. That's a pretty good one. Or keep RPing, yes.
It's sapient, mate. It's not like it's just a barely functioning zombie or something. It knows what it is and knows where it is. It knows what its circumstances are. I'm not saying you have to destroy the thing or free it or whatever, because I don't know how it would survive outside of that tank anyway. But send someone down to say hello. It's a repository for knowledge. Go tell it stories. And yeah, I'll make my diplomacy check.
He's like, yeah, well, it does get stories. It's just through the flesh tentacles in the walls, but but I mean, he's pretty impressed with your spiel, and he certainly seems to kind of have a moment of reflection, and he assures you that he will try to make this better. That they've kept him locked away, kind of for security, and they never really thought that this brain would need social interactions and things. They thought it would just store knowledge, but they've kind of been proven wrong here.
And don't let anything in there to attack it. Good God!
Of course,
you took one. They took one piece out of that thing, and it wanted to kill itself.
Yeah, well, certainly will be regrowing the brain for who knows how long. After that, we lost a lot of knowledge there. I hope you understand. That wasn't just a brain being injured. That was the Bibliotech being injured.
Yeah, well, we saw the critical need for that, and that's why we acted.
It was it is a grievous wound, but wounds heal if you doctor them.
What I want to know is why Asmodeus was there. Am I remembering that right?
Not quite, but close. So Arnis did not have any reports about the things that happened with you guys, so he's pretty interested when you bring this up. But no, who you saw in there was the orc guy that you fought.
Chogrash.
Yeah, he was the orc guy that you killed in the mines, and he had come back. Except he was like more evil and more had clearly been given some kind of powers, and he continually mentioned that he was given these powers like by Asmodeus. Certainly, there were forces of Asmodeus in there trying to stop you from learning things.
Those bastards.
And I think your characters might make the connection between that, Chogrash guy and Asmodeus and the portals and the creatures coming in and taking the brain chunks. Right.
Yes. So we think there might have been a reason for the attack. Also, I apologize. I'm talking a lot this session. If someone wants to step in, please do.
No, you're fine, Chaz.
I like
You're
you.
fine.
I just don't want to step on anybody. The Garland says, right, I think there's might have been a reason for the attack on your Bibliotech Suprem. We've been hunted or haunted, say, by a fellow named Chogrash, an orc with wings and a strange set of weaponry. We've been hunted by him for some time since we handled an issue in the mines. Charlochon. So we found him in Bibliotech Suprem, and I think Asmodeus, or whoever was really pulling the strings there, was trying to hide something. We found evidence or record of a trial involving Asmodeus and his fall from grace inside Bibliotech Suprem, and then as we approached the brain, we found Chogrash first, and then the portals with strange creatures taking parts of the brain away.
Do you know where the portals were from?
I do not. I had to close one without finding out exactly where it went. Was acted in the heat of the moment. I apologize.
No, it's all right. Our wards have clearly faded, so we have to hire more wizards, I think. But thank you for this report. He seems pretty worried by this news, really. Like, he kind of just thought that this was, he knew about the portals and the things coming in, but, like, he wasn't really sure that they were tied to anything, like Asmodeus, who's kind of like the king of hell. Kind of like the devil, 666.
Yeah, he was haunting our roles.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, he's pretty interested in your story and intrigued, and he wants to know if there's anything he can do to help you guys with this.
Well, for starts, we could definitely use a place to rest.
Yeah, of course. You could likely stay in the scholars' dormitories over at E. And he kind of, he takes you guys out of the hall and he points over there. And he says that, yeah, most of the visiting scholars end up staying there, and it's pretty rugged staying, but it's better than sleeping outdoors. And, they usually have a certain camaraderie. There's not very many scholars in town right now. So there should be plenty of beds.
Any bed will do at this point. Garland suddenly looks very tired.
We probably don't have to ask Barrowith twice. That's where his girlfriend ran off to.
Oh, I figured he had cheated his way over there already. While everybody was chattering in the alleyway. No, I want to ask Arnis, you gentlemen are mostly opposed by this group of slugs, correct? They like to attack your caravans of knowledge coming into and out of the bibliotech.
Yes, this slug, Beelzebul. I think you guys helped kill him once. Certainly, he will be back soon.
So the first time we encountered Chogrash in La Caverne de la Charuchon, he was more of a winged orc beast, but when we met him in La Bibliotech, he started to take on these traits of a slug. Am I remembering this correctly?
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah. So I have in my bag slug parts, sluggy brain / eyes. So I want to pull it. I want to like rifle through my bag for a second and pull out this like cloth that's sopping wet with this green mucus dripping in my hand, and unfold it and say something like this: where does this influence come from? How does Beelzebub exert this influence on Chogrash or anybody?
Why do you have that?
Yeah, why do you have that?
Why do you have this?
Which slug did you take that from?
I took that from when we first got into
Was it the Mushroom
not this
Forest?
town, but no, not the Mushroom Forest. When we first got to the last town before Old Shield, and we had that huge fight with the few slugs at the main gate.
Oh yeah, okay.
I harvested it from one of them.
That was when you guys just got to Old Shield, I think, with this town.
Yes, after just coming from New Sword.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm standing in the middle of next to the alley in the dark, holding out these slug bits.
You just pull out this slug brain, and it's all gross and gray and like dripping goo, and he's kind of like a bit set back at what the hell is this thing? But
what's it smell like?
Oh, it doesn't smell good at all. It smells like feta cheese and raw egg that's been in the sun.
Zozo backflips like 12 times to get the fuck out of that shit. Like the old Power Rangers, like they backflip and like
yeah, like 10 times in a row.
Yep, that's Zozo out of that fucking hallway.
So
Arnis looks at this brain. He's not really like sure what to do with this brain, but he's like questioning about like, so this is a slug brain, and you're saying that a guy that you fought, as not a slug, kind of came back part sluggy.
Chogrash, a giant flying orc we defeated in Les Cavernes de la Chaluchon.
So he thinks for a minute, and he says that in some of the research that Tom has done, they've kind of looked into this sluggy problem for a while. The slugs they're facing are not just normal slugs; they're kind of supernatural in some way. And the only connection that they've been able to know of is that a lot of times in other, creatures, cultures, magical creatures, that changing one of them into a slug is like a punishment. That particularly devils are like the most common creatures that do this. Devils have like a strict hierarchy, and they kind of get promoted. So like a certain devil that looks like one kind of monster can get like a promotion, and now he looks like a different kind of monster. And that likewise, they have the concept of a demotion, and oftentimes that takes the form of creatures being sluggy. And he says, so if your Chogrash was a slug, and so is Beelzebul, who we've known for centuries, I mean, I think these people are both being punished somehow by their higher ups.
Okay. I appreciate the information, and I fold the sluggy parts back up and stick them back in my bag.
And he like shivers as you do that, like it's super gross.
I catch it out of the corner of my eye, and I tell him, no, it's okay. My grandmother had an amazing recipe. You just give it another week or two to ferment.
Oh God, no! No, please!
Everyone in the whole town square is all like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's worse than the acid.
I take a fortitude save to not vomit. I thought I vomit anyway.
Yeah, the DC was 15. You vomited.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
Ernest kind of steps over to you guys like after his vomit, and he's like, and one other thing. I'm not sure how many spells you guys been casting, but I know
Oh,
you
I definitely
guys...
vomit.
Ches vomits all over. He's like, I know that you guys, some of you are casters, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know if you've been watching what those clerics have been doing over there, but we've been, not just us, but we've had reports from all around that spells seem to be not working so well.
All around the continent, just this
Yes,
region.
not just this region, but we've had reports from Reminster and the capital cities, and it just happened like last night. But it seems like everybody who casts a spell, kind of most of the time it works, but we're not sure what exactly the chance is, but it's pretty rare. But occasionally spells are just not working anymore. The only spells that seem, the only things that seem immune are like clerics, like what I saw your friend doing over there. Such holy spells like that, holy channelings don't seem to have, any chance to fail. But otherwise, any other kind of magic seems to. So I thought I would just warn you. I know that you guys were in there for a while. You might not have noticed, but...
Interesting. Magics of an arcane nature have a chance of failing.
I mean, so even divine magic is... mechanically
divine
speaking... Yeah, mechanically speaking, it's like, he's channeling his god or whatever, which is not really like a spell cast. But even if he casts Cure Light Wounds, there's a chance it can fail. So it's not just divine magic. It is divine magic and arcane magic seem to have a chance to fail. And so he says, just be careful. I mean, I don't know. There've been all kinds of reports of what happens when it fails. I'm sure you spellcasters are familiar with what can happen when your spells go wrong.
Right.
But yeah, he says that's all. I can show you guys where the dorms are if you need, or...
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. So yeah, you guys stroll back through town. You're heading to the dormitories, which it's funny to assume that Barrowwith was like snuck away already, but that's fine.
I wanted to do this honestly. Back in La Bibliotech, I wanted to try and search the natural history section for something about those slugs, and we never got a chance to. So I want to know about these fucking slugs. We left that one creature back in La Caverne de la Chalouchon. We never got to deal with.
About like slug mating habits, or what do you want to learn about slugs?
I mean, I want to know about slug mating.
What's gross? You shouldn't YouTube that.
Say what?
There's a video. Yeah, they like dangle on a snot rope and like dance around each other. It's disgusting.
It's almost as bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, don't Google it. Yeah. It's like the worst makeout session you've ever had. Dangling from slime. But yeah, you guys get to the dormitories, and yeah, let's take a short break there. Is that cool? I got some food. I got a scarf down.
Yeah, no, definitely. I kind of wanted to step away for 20 seconds and smoke anyway.
5-10 minutes, something like that.
Sounds good.
BRB. Oh God, he found the video. You can really go to the part in like 3 minutes. No, that's not the weirdest one. That's like they're standing on a stick and they're doing it, but they have a weird thing they like extrude.
No, get 47 seconds in. You'll see the snot rope. Oh, it's terrible. They
good.
all.
Way better.
I'm
It's like
I'm
they're
good.
actually
You
dangling.
know, like I've seen a
Look
lot
at
of
this one,
shit.
bro. This is the one where they're actually dangling from a goo rope. It's like the fucking Titanic, but they're slugs and it's way grosser.
Oh my god.
I told you it's so gross.
God, the sounds.
Yeah, like making out noises.
Male organ from behind its head. That'd be really inconvenient.
I don't know. It's probably pretty safe up there. Just-
Dude, the organ is like so horrible. Oh, it's getting
Jesus
bigger.
Brian sounds like an 11-year-old girl watching a porno for the first time. It gets bigger. It comes from where?
Oh my god, dude, this is horrible.
I told you, it's like the can't look away kind of horrible that you have to watch. You gotta try to get Amanda to watch it.
Amanda, you should click on that video that's in Discord.
No.
Oh, I don't know if I want to, just from the reactions I'm hearing.
I meant his Amanda, but this Amanda versus you.
I'm good on that.
I'll show this to him. I don't know where the hell is she. Damn, she ain't in here right now. It's okay, shit. They just got done fertilizing each other, so you know I need a fucking cigarette.
I'll be right back.
BRB.
Yeah, creatures are fucking gross.
Creatures are fucking gross.
Nature, how does that work?
I have the same question about magnets.
Magnets are easy, dude. Nature, what the fuck?
What a great quote. Nature, what the fuck?
I got this new phone wallpaper, and every time I look at it, I die laughing. It's the best phone wallpaper yet.
What is it?
Let me try to put it in that bullshit. It's like a lizard who's playing a space guitar in the synthwave dungeon. I don't know. I love it.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, every time I look at my phone, you wave your hand or whatever to see what time it is. You see this fucker like playing space banjo. That's just so good. And if anybody else sees my phone, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" People usually have like pictures of their baby or some shit. Nah, bro, space lizard. Papa, you turn fan mode.
Do I have enough time to play 2.5 minutes of Beat Saber?
No, probably not.
Not even 2.5 minutes?
No, I think
told you.
Probably just chill.
Hmm. What about 90 seconds?
Where's your fidget cube?
I don't have a fidget cube. This is my fidget
What's
cube.
wrong with you? It's clear that you need one.
Oh, there's no way to fix this kind of fidgetiness without literally running around the house.
Do 20 jumping jacks.
This would take about the same amount of time. Is Brian back from his cigarette break?
No.
Okay, well.
Oh yes, no.
God damn it!
Go do your thing.
I'm not doing anything. I'm literally sitting here trying to find an excuse to play 90 seconds of Beat Saber.
Yeah, just take it easy, bro. We'll be back to D&D in a moment. Have an intro video.
Believe it or not, slug sex, not very. She was not very impressed by it.
No.
She was mortified. Their undulating male organs creating this weird glow.
I'm glad to have blown your mind today.
It was terrifying.
I told you. I warned.
Is everyone back?
Pat, you there?
Awful.
Hey there. Big J, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Mode.
Amanda?
Yeah, we're all.
Okay, I think we all yawn.
Never mind then. You guys.
Take that easy. Yeah, so you guys get to the Scholar Dormitory. It's a pretty normal looking building, kind of made out of some white stone. Nothing too impressive, but on the inside, it's kind of like a bunch of stone pillars, these cool arcing ceilings. That's a lot nicer than you expected. It's kind of open air. There's no air conditioner or nothing, so it's probably, if it was a hot night, it'd probably be pretty uncomfortable, but you're probably good. There's a bunch of simple beds and dressers that kind of stand in rows along the walls, and only a few of them seem to have, stuff on the bed, like somebody's staying there. And yeah, when you come in, you spot across the way kind of in the corner, there's a small makeshift bar that looks more like a bookshelf, kind of laid on its side with a bunch of half-empty bottles of just miscellaneous liquors, like dirty glasses. And from here, you can spot that Kia is sitting at the bar, and she looks like she's drinking by herself. But you hear lots of voices. She's kind of laughing. She's clearly talking with somebody, a couple people, and they're all seem like they're having kind of a good time. What are you guys doing? You guys want to go for beds? You want to try to go talk to her?
Oh yeah, I would walk directly up to the bar. Is there an empty seat next to her?
The seats are rough. They're pretty much just like stools. But yeah, there is one.
Okay, and she's talking to somebody seated somewhere else at the bar.
Yeah, she's talking to. Now that you've kind of come down here, you see behind the pillars that there are 3 other dudes chilling behind the bar. Bam! There's a bunch of miscellaneous bottles that are all just of varying liquors. Most of them are empty or just have like 1 shot left, and everybody's kind of drinking their own weird mismatch.
Is that image of Nemesis an actual famous painting? Because that shit looks really familiar.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Okay.
He looks like a scholar, though, right?
It is. It's just that it's actually a painting of a scholar, and I just can't remember which one.
These other ones are just D&D paintings of scholars.
Yeah.
Pretty close, you know.
I'm gonna sidle up to the bar, take a seat right next to her, and I'm just gonna kind of look around, look at the bottles, confused for a second, then look at everybody else and just ask, self-serve?
Yeah, yep. Kia kind of turns right to you, and she's like, "Yep, self-serve. Here you go." And she kind of like slides over to you, like dirty cup that clearly someone has drank out of already.
Oh yeah, Barrowwith is just gonna kind of push that over to the side. And
And you might have
Bag
your
a whole
own cup, right? I don't know, being a traveler dude.
he's gonna snag a whole bottle of something, not a whole entire unopened bottle, but a bottle, whatever's there, and wipe the mouth of it with his shirt. Kind of look at her and take a swig and say, I'm glad to see you're in better spirits. You seemed very upset when you left us at La Bibliotech.
She's like, she's having a hard time with all this. She really came here to try to learn more about her moon stuff, and she kind of didn't learn much. She's only got 1 lead, and one of these guys in here is who gave her the lead, Constantine here. And so she's like, "Constantine, come here, come meet my friend." And yeah, this guy comes up to you. He's kind of old. He kind of looks like an evil supervillain, and he looks like a pretty learned guy. But he's like, "Yeah, nice to meet you. I see you're friends with Kia. Are you a scholar too?"
Yeah, not so much. Sorry, friend. And I'm kind of like this of Constantine. Like, dude, you're kind of crushing my vibe here. But so yeah, I'll turn my attention back to her and I'll ask her what was the lead? What's the situation?
Well, you know, I came here to learn more about the moon, and you know how I like the moon. And I've seen these creatures on the moon that are like migrating in weird patterns, and I was just trying to learn more, but it seems like nobody remembers. She says that Constantine here gave me a good lead. It's a place called the Mordant Spire. And from what I can tell, and the time I've been here, I've been looking into that too. It's a couple weeks offshore to the east, and it's a small island where there's a lot of stories that I've read. I'm not sure which ones are myths or what, but apparently used to be an ancient elven observatory. And I think that they might know more about the moon. So you can tell at this point from her talking a lot that she's kind of sloshed, but like she seems pretty motivated, and she tells you that like this is where she's gonna go next to try to learn more. She's like not done.
You said nobody remembers. Nobody remembers as in this has happened before? This is a repeating pattern of some kind?
She
Nobody
says,
is-
"Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I've been studying the moon for my whole life, and everything I've learned and everything I've seen, the creatures haven't ever moved this way. And I mean, I can only assume that it's happened before, but I just don't know. I mean, I think somebody should know about this, or if not, then what's it mean?"
Okay, so I'm intrigued. I will finally turn to Constantine and good to meet you, Barrel with. What information did you have for Kia?
He kind of he looks a little turned off to you because you just ignored the shit out of him when he introduced himself, and
Yeah,
now you're kind of begging him for info.
No, not begging him for info. Let's make that clear. Not begging him for info. Very
No.
cold still. No, very cold and short. Just can you give me anything? If not, go away.
Yeah, I love how you built this awkward situation, but yeah, he kind of he looks at you. You look pretty serious, and he sees that Kia likes you, so he's kind of all right. He gives you the spiel. That Constantine is a researcher. He is interested in translation of texts. That is his main thing. Is finding obscure languages and translating things into other languages so that they could be more easily read. And he talks about how one time, many years ago, he was hired to translate a piece of text. It was a scroll that was found from a shipwreck, an exploratory expedition. And the language that it was in was very difficult for him to understand. He had to study for years just to understand the very basics of the language. And he studied this fragments of scrolls, and he kind of put together the picture of what happened on this expedition. The expedition was to a place that was rumored to be an elven observatory where they studied the moon, but they also used it kind of as a spy post to spy on nearby places. But when the expedition got to the place they thought was supposed to be, instead they found a massive twisted column of wood and stone, and it looked like a tree with no limbs, just a trunk. This alone was the reason why Kia was interested, right? Is because that this place was a ancient observatory. But the scroll kind of continues, and that he learned also that the expedition entered the spire, and they were communicated with by some presence, and the presence told them to leave, but they didn't. They stayed and they investigated. They study. At this point, the scroll kind of became a journal of the experiences of the researchers, and they write about how there was some complicated runes on the wall, and they tried to understand them, but they couldn't, and they felt very strangely like they were in danger. And
What
the scroll
language
pretty
was
much
this in?
ends there. The guy looks at you, and he kind of looks you up and down. And you look kind of like a street rat, and he's like, "I don't think you've ever heard of it."
What? Atlanti?
Oh yeah, he's super incredulous, and he's like, "How do you know that?"
For I am the last Aslanti, and I.
Sure you are.
I would not go about bragging about that.
He's like, "And I'm my own grandpa."
I wouldn't brag about that either.
I like the reference though. Digging it.
How can I prove it? I don't think I have any regalia or anything. Oh no, well maybe I have some etchings of various obelisks, and I have
yeah,
a
I
book
think
of
you still have
Atlanti
your
language.
you still have your letter. And
Show
stuff.
Yeah,
You learned
Show him
about
the
your
picture of the
Stuyvesant
goat.
last name.
yeah. I give him a picture of a goat. See? No, I'm kidding. I show him the letter and I explain my origin story, and I'm like, listen, if you have anything regarding this, I need to know where you found this.
So yeah, you convince him pretty easily of your at least capability to understand the language when you show him your writing of it. He can barely follow along, and you seem to have much more comprehension of the language than he does, and he's pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, I've been studying that tome of the Aslanti language in between sessions, and like resting and things like that.
I mean, like, you
Trying.
have a tome? Like, give me the tome. Like, please, I'll do anything.
I can't give it to you, for I'm still reading it, I think.
Oh, shit.
But I'd be happy to open it and read it with you here while I'm here.
He's like, okay, cool. He seems to really like you immediately and not really Brian.
What was it? I sit down next to him. I'm like, and I pour myself a drink, and I start sipping and explaining things, and we start going over it together and comparing notes, and I show him the etchings from the obelisk I got, and my origin letter, and we start reading over everything together.
Yeah, so he sees the obelisk and he's like, yeah, the great weapon. I've seen a lot of writings about this as well, but I don't know what it refers to. I just keep seeing that kind of over and over again. And he's pretty intrigued by like all your stuff. He explains more about the Mordant Spire is weird tree trunk kind of thing made of rock that climbs out of the ocean. It's about a 2 weeks passage over sea to the east.
To the east?
Yeah, you guys aren't near the sea, but like Reminster was near the sea.
Interesting.
And he says that, yeah, certainly. I mean, if whoever was there investigating this spire wrote it in the Aslanti language, then I mean, we can only assume that they themselves were Aslanti. I don't know why they would go to this spire, but I mean, certainly it's clear from the writings that it was a dangerous place. I mean, their ship was found wrecked with no bodies. These were scraps of paper floating on the water.
Huh. Lost at sea, coming from a strange land.
And Kia's like interested too, because she thinks that it's this place was supposed to be an observatory, right? But it's not. Instead, it was something else, where like something spoke to them, and so she's really interested in this idea as well. And she like has some hopes that whoever there, like whatever that voice was that spoke to people, like maybe that she will be welcome there because she understands the moon, and these people didn't.
We may need to all go to this place to the east. It almost sounds like it's just the right place to go. If this really is the explanation for where a lot of this comes from. What do you guys think?
Personally, if it were up to me, I'd go check out that slug creature in the mines, but I don't suppose it's going anywhere.
I mean, the place to the east, this spire is, a multi-week journey. This is not a simple thing. We should probably do what's local to us first before making our way there. But I think this might have some answers for us that we need.
So yeah, everybody's here getting interested, mingling and stuff. Gamby, what are you doing? Are you getting a drink too?
Yeah, I'm getting a drink. Gamby's still a little shook up because the dragon tried to, eat him. So he's kind of just dealing with that and trying to understand like what he's supposed to do from here on out.
While you're chilling, drinking on your drink and kind of mulling over things, this creepy dude kind of approaches you, and he's clearly a scholar in here getting drunk too. And he looks you up and down. You look pretty rough, and he's like, "You didn't have anything to do with that dragon out there, did you?"
Oh, me? No, not at all.
He's like, "It looked like a fireball killed it, and you look like a wizard."
Oh yeah, I'm the magnificent Gambian. I am a wizard. But no, I don't deal with dragons. No.
Ah, the great Gamby. I've heard of you before. I'm Nemesius.
Yeah, no, gnomes and dragons. We don't mix.
He kind of scoots up close to you, and he's like, "Well, it's like you know what dragons leave behind when they die, right? Have you guys given that any thought?"
A treasure hoard.
Is that
He's like,
is
I
that
think
true?
maybe. He's like, well, we've had a lot of reports. I mean, that was Chasabrogax, I assume. He's like, I'm familiar with most of the dragons of the realm. Did you get its name by chance? Was that its name?
Yeah, that was his name.
He said, okay, well, yeah, I mean, there's been lots of reports of Chasabrogax. He's a pretty, juvenile to young adult dragon. But every time he's spotted, it's almost always coming to or from the All Soul Mountain Range, which is to the east of here.
Have you spotted other dragons around here?
He says, yeah, certainly there are a few other dragons that come around here, many more fearful than Chasabrogax. But usually they don't mess with us. They kind of, they have their own business. They don't come here. We'll just pop to the map for a moment to show you guys what I like. It's like the mini map pops up and it's like the mountain plains nearby, and it's like that way. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything other than that. But I mean, if I was a strong group of adventurers like you, that's what I'd be thinking about. He's like, yeah, I mean, if you might be able to convince the guards here to help you, or at least get some further direction. It's like, I'm not a master of dragon sightings or anything, but he kind of looks over and he sees Barrowith, and he's like, you have a ranger there, don't you? It's like, I'm sure that could get you pretty far.
I could get them all the way there and back safely. That's really not the question here. Yeah. Turn back to Kia. When do you plan on leaving for the Spire?
She's like, as soon as I can. I gotta get some rest and get some supplies and things. But she's like, I think I'll head out to Reminster, and I'll probably try to find a boat from there.
And who
She's
do you
like,
plan
where
on?
are you guys going?
Who do you plan on traveling with?
She says,
Do you
well,
need
I'll
guards?
go myself if I have to.
No, that won't be necessary. I'm sure we'd be happy to help, right, everybody?
No, go fuck yourself.
Now he goes where we go. Don't worry about him. What the fuck?
Pat, what is Zoza doing?
Getting really bored with everybody talking and probably punching his fist together, thinking about how he's gonna destroy Helios.
Okay. You're over there kind of grinding your fingers in the corner, and this fucking dude comes up to you. And he sees you being all tough and being all angry and stuff, and he kind of like starts mimicking you a little bit.
Oh God!
What?
Roll initiative.
He kind of jukes back as you clearly are aggressive, and he's like, you look like a tough guy, huh?
The way you said that.
I don't know why you're trying to bring me into any of this. I don't know you. I don't give a fuck who you are. Fuck off.
He kind of like gives you a strange look and is like, okay, well, sure. Sorry to bother you.
Sounds great.
And yeah, he kind of like goes back to his drink over there and chills by himself.
Roll initiative. Garland says, well, I don't know what we're doing next. I'm with Barrowith. Wherever Barrowith is going. He's my pal, my friend, my compadre.
Just chasing pussy.
I don't see any cats in here, actually.
Don't
I think
act.
there is. Barrowith.
Oh, Barrowith jumps up. Yeah, Barrowith jumps up nervously. What do you mean you don't see any cats in here?
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I was trying to crack a joke. Hello, Sassy.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Fist pound
Fist pound.
and goes back to the bar. I do actually want to ask Kia about what animals do you see on the moon? What do you mean animals on the moon?
She kind of gets down into it, and she says, "Well, of course we don't have very good optics, so we can't tell exactly what they look like. But from what we can tell, they're kind of oval shaped. They seem to have like 4 legs, and just they migrate. Kind of they have a random pattern. The season, there's kind of not so much seasons, but there's a dark side and a light side of the moon, and they kind of move from one to the other to kind of maintain their temperatures, and it's a pretty standard cycle that they follow. But lately, they've all been congregating. They've all been going up to like the north side of the moon, like the pole, and there still is a light bit and a dark bit that they kind of move back and forth between, but they seem to all be going up there and just congregating in mass. And she's like, I've been studying the moon for like 20 years and I've never seen this before.
That is strange indeed. I guess. Why don't we go to a bed off in the corner? Sit and talk for a while. You seemed pretty shaken up.
Yeah,
Creepy.
she's pretty shaken up, but she likes that offer, and yeah, she kind of heads off to bed with you.
No.
And is everybody else heading to bed? Won't
Yep.
ask any more questions or anything? You good?
I'm gonna approach Zozo before we go to bed.
What? Fuck you want?
You seem rather uptight, mate.
I'm fucking tired. I don't want to talk to nobody. I want to go the fuck to sleep. We'll figure this shit out in the morning.
All right. Just checking on you.
Yeah, well, fucking go check someone else.
No team player, this one.
Look, I hold my own, and I make sure that you guys don't fucking die. Okay?
You told that
All
to
right,
the healer?
Zozo.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
You told the healer that you're trying to keep us all alive.
I'm aware of what I said. All memes aside.
Right. Well, see you in the morning then, Zozo. And Garland, for one, is going to go to bed and go to pray to Gorham.
Gorham, damn it.
Gorham, damn it! Where's my yucking money?
Okay, so you guys all have a nice Final Fantasy bed noise. Please recover all of your HPs and things and spell slots.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And prepare all your spells if you're going to.
Yeah, everybody should be level 7. If anybody missed that, please level up your dudes.
Okay. I get another +1 to my greatsword swings because I took martial focus as a feat. And I get 2 4th level spells.
Nice.
I can now heal myself.
That's cool. Now you're the healer.
For
Can
me?
you do that to other people eventually or no?
No.
That's cool though.
There's I forget exactly the word I'm looking for, but like there's like certain types of monk
That if you could like lose that, right? And then you can heal somebody else if you wanted to. But that's not generic.
Okay, like the archetypes, yeah.
Yeah, archetype. That's the word I was looking for. You like trade that ability in for healing others. Still costs the key points though.
Okay, so you guys rest through the night. There's nothing that beats down the door and murders you or anything like that. It's a nice quiet time.
No scary dreams that make me bleed out my nose.
No, there's some snoring scholars though that are a little bit annoying. Clearly, like sawing logs over there.
I got the best buff I've ever gotten. I got the best buff spell I've ever seen in Pathfinder.
What?
Is there a way to like make it show up in the chat, Bear?
If you tell me what it's called, I can try to see if I have it in my thing, or just put the link in the chat.
Just put the link in the chat. It's called Blessing of Fervor.
That sounds fun.
Damn. Yeah. 30 more move speed or an extra attack. It only lasts for 1 round per level though. But
right, but I'm level 7.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's
7.
worth a damn.
I mean, 7 rounds of being able to do one of those things at the start of each of your turn, and I can target up to 7 creatures. So.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Yeah, that works on everybody.
As long as everybody's within 30 feet of each other, I can.
What the fuck, Pathfinder? Okay. That's fine.
That's not that's on the Pathfinder.
Yeah, no, I believe you, bro.
So that's not.
That's
that's
just
not
that's crazy strong. It's like haste, but better.
Haste with an all materia attached to it.
Yeah, and other options. Everybody gets a new option every turn too, so it's really good.
That's kind of nuts.
Pretty nuts.
Each of your allies can choose one of the following. That's the broken part about it.
Yeah, I could understand if they had to pick, if like you had to pick one to give everybody or something, but no, it's like everybody gets to pick on their turn. But yeah, no, that's cool, dude.
Dude, that meta magic mod is like huge.
What?
The meta magic mods for that blessing are ridiculous. That's really good. To get the enlarged, I can double the radius of my fireballs and other AoEs. So like my burning hands can go 60 feet for extensions and things like that.
I didn't even read that one. The last.
Yeah, that's actually the worst part about it. So I could have a 60-foot 5d4 burning hands.
Fucking clerics? No, that's cool though. That just means I gotta step the fuck up and like try to murder you, you know?
Yeah, just go Ches style and try to kill everybody.
It's a lot harder when you guys are level 7 and shit because it scales so high, you know. But we'll see how it goes. It sounds fun, you know.
The other spell that I got is Restoration.
Nice.
Just the base level.
Cool.
One spell or something, no?
That spell's expensive to use, though.
It is, but I'm going to ask if so. It cures ability damage, and in my mind, part of the effects of ability damage might include, say, scarring, which would negatively affect your charisma. The spell is often used to greater restoration. In particular, is often used to restore lost limbs in 5th edition and other systems.
So in Pathfinder, there's a level 7 spell called Regenerate that specifically says it regrows hands and feet and fingers and stuff. And ruined organs grow back. So
okay.
Maybe. I mean, I think that, yeah, scarring, that sounds reasonable, but not like a new arm.
Yeah, no. What my plan was, I want to prepare restoration, and then the next morning I want to go see if I can help Joe a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. She's she's a shopkeeper too, so the scars would help her a lot. You got that.
So basically, I want to go
100
find out if
GP?
I want to go find out if I can purchase some diamond dust from her if she's got any of it left, and then use it to cast restoration to heal some of her scarring.
She has the diamond dust?
She does.
Yeah, that's who we got it for.
Yeah, you guys had the barrel of it from the.
Oh,
mine.
we have it. Okay.
But
I was about to say, why are you buying it and then healing her face? It shouldn't work that way.
She's still out here in a cot, and in the morning you're able to find her. She's still laying here all week. But you explain her plan, and she totally says that she still has some, and you can just have it. And please do whatever you can. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to cast it at 4th level, and I'm going to touch her face gently to try and heal some of the scarring.
Okay. Yeah. So you touch her, and it certainly, like, most of her face regrows. It kind of has, that weird, like, stretched too tight skin. She's certainly not so much of a beautiful lady anymore, but she is certainly not like a terribly disfigured person like she kind of was. Now
A freshly grown face.
Pat, I need you to Photoshop this image.
What?
I'll just fucking with you.
No, what image? I'll do it.
Joe Copperkettle's face.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, she's certainly very impressed with your work, and she's real thankful, and she pulls out like a little mirror and kind of checks herself out. And she looks you in the eyes, and she's seems very thankful, and says if there's anything she can do to help, just please let her know.
Maybe when we get back, we'll see if there's anything I can come up with that I would need. At the moment, I think we're good to go. But I certainly appreciate the offer, and I'm glad to see that you're feeling better.
Chaz is trying to get a girlfriend too. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
What the fuck is going on? All these fucking PCs are fucking chasing pussy, and I don't understand. The fuck?
I'm chasing the blessings of Gorum.
Sure, that's what you want to call it.
I bet you'd like to bless
It
her
is?
Gorum.
Jesus Christ! Fucking rude.
Sure.
So I look at Joe, if it's a fresh day, and ask if I can get my chain shirt upgraded to mithril.
She looks at you and kind of sighs, and she's like, "I'm a little injured, but
I'm a little injured.
I guess." The mithril shirt is 1,100 gold. She says, "No discounts, not for you."
That's fine. No, I deserve that. I have exactly enough to upgrade my +1 chain shirt with mithril then.
Okay.
So I'll just do that.
Man, fucking Alex reminded me of well, short story. Reminded me of watching Sia play Laura Croft. Her fucking leg gets snapped into a bear trap. She gets pushed to the side, and then the NPC's like, "Why don't you come here and walk on that leg that just got put in a bear trap?" It's like, bro, it's a fucking bear trap. Her leg shouldn't exist, and you're wanting shit from her?
Bro.
That's Alex right there. Her fucking face got melted off, and he's like, "Why don't you get back to work, bitch? I need this."
Let's get back to work.
Yeah, is her shop open? Good to go?
Right?
She's like, "I guess."
Like
We have
I don't
money.
need you to make anything. I just need to buy something that you may have.
No.
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah. What do you need?"
I'm just looking to buy a field plate.
Field plate.
A field plate?
Did she have that?
You know, boogie
I'm
board.
looking. I'm scrolling, frantically scrolling through the notes.
It's
You
just
you just wait.
it's just a basic heavy armor out of character.
Yeah. She says, yeah, sure. It's super cheap. I think.
1200.
Okay. Yeah, sure. She's down. Field plate, not magical. You got enough?
Oh yeah, I got plenty. I hoard gold like dragons.
You're not the only one.
She's been digging around in her bag and stuff, and she's been kind of doing this shop stuff for her, and I mean shop stuff for everybody else. Garland, you kind of notice that it's hurting her a little bit, but
I start helping.
Yeah, she likes to help. She's kind of smiling at you for sure, and sorry, she pulls out of her bag a thing, which she hands you, and it's like a buckler. She hands the buckler right to you. She's like, "Here, take this. I don't know. I mean, it might not do you any good, but it's the least I can do." Oh, it's a +1 buckler, a light fortification, and she's super happy with you, and like really wants to give you something.
She's giving that to me.
Yeah, giving this to you.
Okay, I'll take it.
And yeah, so from here, you guys are kind of on unknown territory. We're probably gonna have a shorter session tonight, mostly because of, as you can understand, we did La Bibliotech and we kind of ended it without a where are we going next. So this session is the where are we going next. You guys got offered the dragon's lair in the mountains to the east, and the other option was to try to find a ship and to go to the Mordant Spire across the sea.
I mean, definitely we need to hit all three of these things. It's just a question of what order.
Well, I don't necessarily think that there may or may not be an order, though. You know, we at one point in time got like teleported into a whole different place, so to speak.
Yeah, certainly if you have to sail away for 2 weeks and do a big adventure and sail back 2 weeks, someone else may have found the dragon's lair, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Even like
Or whatever have you. I do have a question. More so about a character that we haven't talked to in forever, and if they still exist.
Yeah.
Brimwald?
Yeah, Brenwald was your ethereal boy.
Yeah.
He certainly does still exist.
Okay. Because I was looking at my inventory and some of my my items and everything, and I still have a twig that I can like phone call him with, I guess. It says twig phone call Night Pro.
Yeah, that is very much yeah, there is a lot of unfinished business in the ethereal plane, like a blink popper that got abandoned. And Brinwald offering you guys to come visit his order.
I feel like we missed that.
I mean, that's okay. You don't have to take every hook, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But we do.
I mean, if you want. So yeah, the question I say to you is, what is the next hook?
So we have a dream.
Certainly you could say Brenwald, right? I mean, if that's something you want to try to investigate more.
Is the party gonna have issues if we go on this boat trip? Because they said they want to go to Remonster to find a boat.
My only thing is that like if we don't jump on that dragon horde quickly, we're probably gonna find that we're going to be competing with other adventuring parties trying to get it. And as it stands, the way we remembered it was from somebody else suggesting it. So there's probably already people trying to pursue this thing.
I mean, I'm down for competition.
It just
Well,
sounds like
you know,
extra loot to me.
Yeah, and it's like good money too, because usually dragon hordes are worth a lot, depending on how old the dragon is.
I was talking about this quote competition. You know,
Oh,
they could have an accident and then more loot.
there's that too. There's totally that too, depending on how cutthroat people decide to be, and if it's justifiable. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
I also bring back up the notion that Big J brought up. We're going to Remonster. We are wanted, probably by now, in that town. Mainly due to the fact that we kind of stole Armus. The whole town fire and things of that nature.
Okay, listen, we were defending ourselves.
You can paint a pretty picture all you want, but it's still a picture.
I mean, if we got to fight our way in, I mean, oh darn.
Well, and certainly, you know that Remonster is not like the only big port city. You could probably try to find a different place to set off from.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know if we knew another port city, honestly.
Yeah, to the north. Oh, you guys haven't explored the map. It's kind of like north of the desert.
Do we have to go through the desert?
Good question.
Okay, if we have to go through the desert, I want nothing to do with that shit. Fuck that desert. Fuck hot. Fuck no.
Just what we should. No, you were lost in the desert. You won't be lost anymore.
I don't give a fuck if I don't like the desert.
Understandable.
Zozo does not like heat, nor do I.
Yeah, so I would say that, yeah, Pat, you do know of another port city to the north. It's not as big as Remonster, but it is pretty good. Oh, it would be a much further travel, though. Almost twice the distance.
Right. I don't know. I'm kind of in the opinion that we go get some treasure while the treasure is possibly still there.
We straw pulling it?
My vote
Treasure?
is for the Mordant Spire. It's what Beryl wants to do, and
Oh yeah. See, I was not going to vote because Bear was just going to automatically want to go with Key.
Man, fuck that cunt.
But if those guys want to do side quests and shit, I want to do Bear side quests.
Bum, bum, bum.
Well, if Gamby's voting in character, he's gonna vote for the Spire because he's had his fill of dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Please in character open up your cell phones and navigate to the URL in the sci-fi fantasy Discord.
You guys suck. You don't want epic legendary dragon loot?
dragon bait. How much of a horde could it possibly have?
Well, considering the fact that these things are usually alive for hundreds of years, it could be a considerable amount.
Right, but it was juvenile.
Was it juvenile?
Yes.
Yeah, you did hear that it was juvenile to young adult aged dragon.
Yes.
But aren't those still like 250 years old?
Probably.
Which to humans is a very long time.
Yeah.
But to people of other races is not a very long time.
Juvenile to young adult is from 20 to 100 years old. There's a goddamn table. That's how complicated Pathfinder is.
God.
They thought of this. What do we got? We got 4 votes. 50-50. Who's not voting?
Other.
5. And then there's the other. Fuck. So We're still missing one. Yeah, whoever it is voted 3 for Dragon's Lair.
Mhm.
So there's 3 for Dragon's Lair, 2 for the Spire, and 1 for other stuff. Like the ethereal plane is what I thought, other stuff. But yeah, okay. So sounds good.
Loot.
I was so
Glory.
torn what to do.
It's okay. I mean, that's probably a good sign.
Yeah, there's no wrong answer here. I feel like.
I mean, time occurs, time passes, but certainly you got priorities, and it sounds good. I'm excited. So yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. Sorry guys, it was only like a 2-hour session instead of a 3, but now we know where we're going. I'll work well on the next adventure where we're going to Green Dragon's Lair, trying to find that and find the treasure that might help us on the adventure.